In this video, I'll be talking about reading comprehension. So we'll discuss how to approach passages, how to read passages, how to solve questions, the types of questions you should be expecting, and a few tips and tricks. Alright, so reading the passage. So you must develop a habit of mindful reading. So even when you're doing your regular readings, even for other subjects, make sure that you're doing mindful reading. What this means is that you're reading in a focused manner, and that what is being read by you is being processed by you at the same time. And this will enhance your speed, this will make your comprehension of the passage better. So extremely important. Now, there are a few questions that you can ask yourself while reading a passage, which would help you to focus better on the passage. So the first thing you should ask yourself is, which subject area does the passage belong to? So the moment you start reading a passage, say it goes, the colonialization of the African continent began in, and so on, you should instantly be able to understand that the subject area of the passage is history. So things like these. The next is assign subtitles to each paragraph. In this, when you do a reading, say you're reading the editorial section of the newspaper and you're reading a particular article which discusses a government policy. So you can, and the way the article is framed is that they have discussed the views of different stakeholders in different paragraphs. So say you can just assign the subtitle to each paragraph and write, okay, this paragraph deals with reaction of the doctors, the next one reaction of the teachers, the next one reaction of prospective employers. So things like these. Now this will help you understand what each paragraph contains. On top of it, the moment you see a question which talks about a specific detail from the passage, you will know exactly which paragraph to come back to. So that will also save your time. The next is to observe the structure or build-up of the passage. Now this just requires you to take a broader view of the passage and just observe what is happening in the passage. Are they trying to do a clause by clause analysis of, say, a regulation, or are they trying to scrutinize different criticisms being furthered towards something? So you can do this. Or are they trying to evaluate the pros and cons? The next is to try to understand where a similar style of writing is present. So if you're reading, say, a passage, you should be able to tell whether it's more likely, whether this passage is more likely to have been picked up from a newspaper or from a novel. So and you will understand this only if you read different sources and you're familiar with different styles of writing that each of them have. Alright, strategies to solve questions. So the first one is the traditional one, which is to read the passage and then answer questions. It works for some people, but then again there are many strategies and you can see which one works for you. The next is to glance through the questions first and then read the passage. This helps certain students a lot because then they know exactly which paragraphs have unnecessary information, so they can be skipped over. They can hunt for answers immediately. Say a particular paragraph of the passage talks about the statistics, but you know that there is no question that even remotely concerns statistics, so you can skip over it. Next, glance over the passage in less than a minute, then read the questions and follow it up with a detailed reading if required. So you can just glance over the passage and do very quickly without spending much time, just getting an idea what is contained in the passage. Then you can read the questions, and as required you can do a detailed reading. Sometimes you may feel that a detailed reading is not even required. Alright. Read introduction and conclusion of the passage to get a sense of what the passage is dealing with, and then read the questions and refer the passage as required. So what this means is that first you're going to read the introduction and directly you're going to read the conclusion. You'll skip over the rest of the passage. Now this will give you a sense of what the passage is dealing with. Then you can go read the questions and you can just refer back to the information that is required of you from the passage. Or if you feel that the passage is extremely complicated for you and the questions are also really difficult, you may want to come back to it later. So things like these you will be able to decide. Now this strategy requires you to read the first and last line of each paragraph. So this will give you an idea of what each paragraph is talking about, and then you look at the questions. And now when a question asks you for a specific detail from a particular paragraph, you will know exactly which one to come back to, because you will have a rough idea of what each paragraph contains. Now while figuring out which strategy works for you, first you need to experiment with all of them. So test each strategy on a passage or a few more if required, and if it's working for you, then start incorporating it in your practices. You may also feel that a combination of two strategies is working for you, or you may feel that for factual questions strategy A works for me, but for implicit questions strategy B works for me. So start figuring these things out and incorporating them in your practices. Alright, while writing the paper, there is a possibility that you may be confronted with a passage that you have no idea about. It is especially when it's from an unfamiliar subject area, and you will understand that you're dealing with such a passage when you're reading the passage, but it's not making sense to you. Now usually this subject area is one that you neither like nor have any background knowledge on. So the first way to counter this problem is to read a lot and read diverse subjects, so that the number of these unfamiliar subject areas is very few. Next, if at all the subject area is still a problem for you and you don't know anything about it and you're feeling lost in the passage, you've glanced over it, I would suggest that you look at the questions. If you feel that the passage is difficult and the questions are as difficult, you may want to come back to it later on, because the likelihood of your doing well in that passage becomes low. But sometimes the people who set the paper trick you and give you an extremely difficult passage, but they follow it up with really simple questions, which means that if you actually try solving the questions, you'll be able to do them. So make sure you don't miss out on questions like these. Sometimes in these passages, the keywords are defined. For example, I may not be good at economics, and I may have to answer a passage which deals with an economics topic, say high frequency trading, and I may feel intimidated by the sight of it, but maybe all these crucial things may be defined in the passage, so when I read it, it will actually make sense to me. So make sure that if these tiny helps are provided, you take it in and you're able to do well. Next, if you think that reading it is taking too long and even the questions are difficult, as I suggested earlier, leave it and come back to it later on. That's a smart thing to do. Alright, types of questions. So, of course, first is factual questions. These are fact-based questions. They require explicit information from the passage. Questions about who, what, when, where. These are direct, easy to answer. The next one is inference-based questions. So here is where the trickier questions begin. They're indirect. So this is usually framed as what is the author trying to imply by saying, and a particular sentence would be quoted. And you have to infer what the author was trying to say, what is the underlying meaning, what is actually being conveyed by the author. Next is summary questions. So you will be asked to choose which of the given options best summarizes the passage. Next, primary purpose. So what is the central idea, primary purpose, main idea or crux of the passage? Fifth, style of passage. So here you'll be asked what the style of the passage is. What is the style adopted by the author to write this passage? So whether it is descriptive, argumentative, analytical, informative, so on. Alright, there can be questions about tone. What is the tone of the passage? Questions about mood. What is the mood of the passage? Mind you, both of these are different things. Alright, title. You may be asked to choose a suitable title for the passage from the given options, and you have to make sure that the title actually conveys, or at least gives an idea of what the passage is talking about in a wholesome manner. Lastly, the source. So here is where you need to be able to identify where the passage has been picked up from. So these passages are usually excerpts from different sources. So you have to identify what is the source of the passage. So if you're given an excerpt from an article published in a legal journal, you should be able to identify that. Alright, so a few general tips for preparing RC. So first is focus on getting an overview of the passage. When you're reading the passage and you come across a particular sentence that you're not able to understand in its fullest manner, it's okay. You just need to get a general idea for you to be able to solve most of the questions, if not all. Next, you need not pronounce all words of the passage. Skip over complex words such as foreign proper nouns. So if say it's a passage that's very informative in nature, in its style, and it talks about various foreign concepts or foreign proper nouns that you have no idea about, you've never seen before, and they're really long, don't try to spend time trying to figure out their pronunciation. These things are not required, and this will save you a second or two here and there, but that will matter a lot at the end end. Right. Third, figure out the strategy or the combination of strategies that work best for you and start incorporating them in your practices. So we discussed certain strategies which will enhance your comprehension and your answering ability of the questions. So start incorporating them right now so that you're used to them and you're not trying to confuse yourself while writing an exam or taking mocks. Do readings and RC exercises regularly. This is a given. Readings cannot stop. Readings have to be diverse. Readings have to be extensive. You should be doing RC exercises also regularly, and when you do these exercises, focus on understanding the reasoning behind the answer, behind the rationale behind the answer. Understand why the correct option is the correct option, why the wrong option was wrong. And this is the understanding that you have to develop over time, and this is crucial to enhancing your comprehension ability and your critical reasoning skills. Next, practice mindful reading. As I mentioned earlier, you should be comprehending what you're reading at the same time. Lastly, gradually increase reading speed. It will not happen overnight, but if you focus on it, it will start happening. If you read a lot, even that will improve your reading speed. And if at all you want to keep doing it on a regular basis and keep track of your improvement, you can use timers and you can see how much. So say you set your timer for 15 minutes, you can see how much reading you covered in the first 15 minutes, and then in your next slot you can try to do even more reading within that time frame. Alright, with that we come to the end of the video. Good luck.